Just as I had suspected, all is not well after my microvascular decompression surgery. The screws may not be loose, but there is another issue.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take very much for that. Like what the concern is
Yeah,
that,
it's very close, isn't it?
yeah, that's going to erode away, and then suddenly we're going to be looking at something that says "Made in Japan."
Yeah.
That won't be very good either.
Yeah.
This titanium mesh used during surgery is dangerously close to eroding through my scalp, so Dr. Markey wants to use a surgical plastic to fill in the 50-cent piece size hole, which will be left when he removes this mesh.
It's a cement.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can fill this up with methyl methacrylate, and basically it goes in as a liquid, and then it goes through this exothermic reaction, and before we're done, it'll be hard.
If he waited and the mesh pushed through my skull, the outcome could be so much different.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if that skin opens on top of that, right? If suddenly the skin opens and we can see the mesh through there, then the only treatment at that point is going to be to take the mesh out, close everything up, treat you with antibiotics for a while, and then we could talk about going back later and fixing it. Whereas if we did it now, you know, you could do it all at once. One of the things that we would do is, if we do this thing, is we get underneath. There's some muscle there, and I can make a couple of incisions in the muscle to relax it and bring that muscle further over. But the big thing is, if we get rid of the mesh, the skin, like if you put that methyl methacrylate, it's literally an acrylic plastic. The skin can't stick to it. So you're not going to get that same tethering problem. You know, the reason you use this mesh is because there's the cerebrospinal fluid there, and so I can't put the methyl methacrylate down then because it can get inside.
Gotcha.
But now that it's all healed up, then we can just lay it right on top of that lining and not have to worry about it.
Gotcha.
So that was my next question. So there's no risk of it causing any damage as it goes through this exothermic reaction to the tissue underneath?
Should not, no.
My body does not like any foreign objects in it at all. Prime example, these metal plates, these were in my noggin. Dr. Markey put these in nearly 20 years ago after my stroke. They were trying to work their way up out of the top of my head, and they had to be removed just 4 years ago.